break Facebook.
I think it's now live. Oh, that's a bit scary.
Are we live? No, we aren't. We are now, I think.
Oh, we're live now.
So don't leave me alone. And
I'm going to run.
We are. I cannot see myself, so probably maybe we aren't. How do we make this not boring now?
I
That's
don't
the
know.
question.
That's the.
You also blurred your entire background,
Oh, God.
which is even worse now
no.
because we cannot see that you are at the studio. And
there we go. That's better.
I'm very distracted by my subtitles.
Oh, have you got some time?
Oh, you're not able to show us the studio. Well,
it'll be rough as anything, but I can wander about with a laptop. I just thought I would carry on. I was remotely.
it would be good. It would be cool just because you have something more interesting than what I have to show. So how to make it not boring is almost impossible because everything that I could think of that was photography related or marketing related was very boring. And then your idea of making it about numbers was even worse. So, so we will ignore your suggestion.
Thanks. Although if anybody wanted a wee pre-lunchtime nap, me talking about figures and numbers would be great for that purpose.
Yeah, for the post or the pre-afternoon nap.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
post morning. But I have a question. So I'll ask you a question that was part of one of the boring topic that I had in mind. And that I would like to have as a call sooner or later. So we'll have two questions. They're boring. One I'll answer, one I'll ask you to answer, which is, so this was a question from a photographer, or rather a doubt. This is a photographer doing free sessions for newborns. And she read somewhere in a forum a thread so it was mums. The forum was new mums and so on. And somebody was asking about free sessions that they won a competition or something like that. And the comments were very much, it was a mix of positive and negative, but there were many saying, oh, it's a scam. We ended up spending £2,000. We didn't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. And the conversation that I was having with the photographer was, in my opinion, it depends how you do it. And the thought that I had this morning was, no matter what you do in marketing and with your business, there's two ways to go about it. You can put the strategy first. So you have a need with your business and you choose a strategy based on that. Or you can put ethics first and make sure that whatever strategy you choose is based on the ethics that you have. So I do free sessions, but I do them in a way that I feel is transparent and ethical and whatever. Same with me, by the way. You know me, you're probably one of the few who, I think in your review about the coaching, you mentioned the first call. And, when I say a free call with me, it's free. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. You can ask me about the coaching and I'm delighted if you want information about what I have to sell, but there isn't an obligation to do that, or there isn't a hidden agenda to do that. And the photographer was very worried about the perception. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
I think you're absolutely right. You can run your business one or two ways, and whether the sessions are free or not is almost immaterial. You could charge £100 for a session fee and somebody still walk away unhappy, thinking that in some way they've been conned if your messaging isn't where it should be. So to offer free sessions I think as long as somebody comes in the full knowledge of what they're getting, and that they feel under no obligation to spend beyond what they're getting, and whether that's a free print or credit. I think if you offer credit, it becomes a little bit more challenging because somebody can be left a little bit more disgruntled. Your messaging has to be really perfect when you start offering credit. But certainly, if they can walk away having had the session with a free print or whatever it may be, and say that they felt under no obligation to purchase anything else, then there's no way that somebody can say they can be conned. You will always get people that, for whatever reason, are unhappy. And it's not the unhappiness that's the issue, it's how you then deal with it and how you message that from there. So yeah, the upshot of it is make sure you're messaging.
But when you say unhappy, when you say unhappy, you're probably thinking, which connects us or takes us into the other topic that I had in mind. Unhappy because they see an ad, they see the word free or similar mentioned somewhere, and they assume it's all free.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because the process should be such that when you get people in the studio, there is no unhappiness about what's on offer because it's clear to them.
Yeah. Unhappiness stems from miscommunication, and that miscommunication begins and ends with us. A client can misunderstand what we say once, but if we repeat regularly what the process is, then you minimize that misunderstanding potential. Does that make sense?
It's annoying that we are responsible for our actions.
Imagine that. Yeah, imagine that. I mean, the thing is,
it would be much better if we could blame other people for our communication not being clear.
We seem to forget that our clients are human beings, and worse than that, they're generally speaking, your clients are newborn photographers, so they're either pregnant or they have a young child, and if you've been pregnant or had young children, your brain is anywhere other than reading an email or a text message or something. You need to spoon feed these people so that there can be no room for misunderstanding. Take baby steps, repeat everything. Because at the end of the day, we all have off days and we skim through something. So we should afford our clients the opportunity to do the same. And not blame them when it doesn't quite work out, because at some point we'll have dropped the ball somewhere.
Yes, and I think I'll be now, if you want to start working around while I bore people, I think it's up to you, though.
This gives motion sickness.
I forgot what I wanted to say. It's just horrible. We should find somebody under 40 to join us to make sure that.
I know there's me a photographer as well, and it's like the darkest hole in the. Oh, wait, you're not can see this, can you? My amazing baby fox table.
I saw Maddie mentioning your review.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's a goal changer. I love my beanbag. I'm just going to open a blind up a wee bit.
I cannot believe that I actually haven't seen your studio.
If you came to visit me instead of yourself doing.
That is true. I completely forgot what I wanted to say now as well.
That's the danger with me and you speaking. What do you think of that's my wee installation? It looks tiny there, but
now I know something that I need to ask you that everybody wants to know. Show us the wall art. Where is it? So this is the viewing area.
So how well can you
I can see a couch.
So that's where the clients sit.
Yeah.
I view on a 65-inch telly there. I don't know how well you can see that shelf, Julie, but that's the desk frame that I offer to my pram shop clients.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
and then that's a classic frame single image behind me. Triple frame. This one behind me is the big 72-inch installation.
Yeah.
It's 5 canvases. And then over here, if I knew, so that's the birch orbs and the multi-aperture canvas. That's, again, I don't know how well you can see that. That's really popular with cake smashes. Ooh.
Well, I can tell why.
A
That's
9 up,
yeah.
9 up multi. Oh
And
gosh,
they are not
and
all 9 pictures, right? There's
there's
something
text up in
else.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 6 images, and that's the 6 up multi aperture. So one of each product, so people can see. By rights, if I had more space, I would have them all sized so that everybody could see all the sizes I offer. But I don't have the space because I've got 2 separate shooting spaces, 3 separate shooting spaces. So
It's I have on one screen still walking around on Facebook, and on the other, so I'm super confused, even more than before.
oh my God.
Right. So we survived the live, which is amazing to begin with.
Yeah.
Uh, I will ask you one last question.
Mhm.
Going back to what we were talking about, and just now in terms of responsibility and so on, and I think you also are with me in the sense that there is a bit of a difference in terms of, I think, the not the way, I don't want to make it sound like one way of running the business better than the other, but my experience working with people has always been there are some who are more business is business. That doesn't mean it's unethical, but they're able to separate, this is the business, this is my strategy, and I'm 100% in it. And then there are other people who are more, they bring into the process a little bit more of the personal sensitivities, probably. I don't know how to explain it, because again, I don't want to make it sound like it's good or bad. It's just 2 different ways of approaching business. And I found, which is why I love working with newborn photographers, especially, is obviously in this genre is a little bit more, you tend to find more photographers who are on the second category. Yeah, it might be just because that's the people I attract. It might just be that. That, in my opinion, is also what I'm seeing, is that it is potentially also making it sometimes a little more challenging, A, to try new things, B, to see the strategy part of the business as something that I need to be able to detach emotionally a little bit, so that I don't take the strategy I try. If there's something in it that doesn't work, I am a failure because of that. And in general, I feel, especially this year, because there is so much uncertainty, then we risk that business feels heavier because of that. And so I think bringing back a little bit of the lightness in a way, even when we try things and be like, thank God we're not in an industry where people die if we get it wrong, I think is important, because otherwise this heaviness tends to be, or risk being, stopping people from enjoying the business.
Yeah, I think there needs to be 2 sides to the business, and that's the client facing side, and that's where the warmth, the empathy, the emotion is imperative, particularly for newborn and family clients. newborn and family work, should I say, our clients need to see that we're real people, that we're empathetic, that we understand that they're petrified. I mean, the vast majority of people haven't had professional photographs done. It's a really alien situation for them. So they need to understand that we appreciate that and know how to make them feel and look their best. But then there's the business side of it, and the business side of it should be very detached, very cold, very regimented and structured, because only by making it that way can you make hard decisions without second guessing yourself and questioning yourself at every turn. And it's easier, it's way easier said than done, because at the end of the day, the business is our baby. You know, I've got 4 kids, 2 of them are human, one's a dog, and this one, and I think if you ask my kids, they would debate which one was my priority, because I've built this for the ground up, as have most of us. So you pour your life and your heart and your soul into it. So it is really challenging to be detached, to make those business decisions. But sometimes you just need to, and that's where having somebody like you working in the business is really helpful, because you come to it from that emotionally detached perspective, and you can see it so much more objectively than we can. And I'm probably as objective about my business as most people are, but there are still things I struggle with. And as you know, with my random Julia question.
Well, yes, I think there's a this is what I realized this year, and this is, for me, it's the 8-ish year in this business, let's say, unofficially 7 officially, but this is what I've realized this year. And you know that the part of it has been because this year has been so challenging on a personal level, because of the shoulder and whatever, doesn't matter. But what I've realized is that there's so many skills that are needed for you to enjoy the business, that go beyond the marketing, beyond the craft itself, and so many skills that we don't think of as skills. And what I mean by that, the ability to look at how you run and perceive your business on an emotional, mental level. It's not mindset. I don't want to call it mindset, because these days when you talk mindset, you think, oh, how can I rewire my mind so that either I make a lot of money, or how do I rewire my mind so I can relax? That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about the normal run in the business. How do you emotionally, mentally run it so that you don't burn out, but equally you can look at it critically and say, these are the things that I need to do better. These are the things that I need to detach myself from a little bit. Number one, so this is one skill. The other skill, I think, as we were saying the other day, is how do the skill set necessary for me to be able to rest and relax and find the school holidays, how do I manage that? And it in my opinion, we have for years put too much emphasis into, well, if I make enough money anyway, everything else will follow. But that's not the case. You don't find joy in your business, you don't find the enjoyment, fulfillment, you don't find the rest within your business without the skills that allow you to build those things. This is turning very philosophical now. We've lost the two people we were watching live. They're like, what the hell is this?
That's a step too far. No, but you're absolutely right that you go into being self-employed thinking that you will carry out. So for me, I started became self-employed because I wanted to take photographs of people, but actually that's a tiny percentage of what we do. I fell in love with the business side of it but even that's a tiny percentage of what we do, and it's being able to marry the two of them around who we are as people, that becomes, yeah, a totally unrecognised, probably unidentifiable skill set that means that, yeah, it's the hardcore of folks that are still here 5, 10, 15 years down the line, because it is such a unique skill set to be able to bring it all together and enjoy it.
If you fall in that category, or the second category of people we're talking about, in my opinion, the risk is that if we don't address and learn those skills, you go into an eternal cycle of being burned out until you're like, you know what, I'd rather give up because I cannot do this.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of that, thank God not with clients, but a lot of that in general in the industry this year, because it's been more challenging, probably a lot more work to get the same results, and in some cases a lot more work without seeing the results people used to, and therefore you don't have that skill set, and it's like you cannot cope with it.
No, and this next 2 or 3 years are going to be equally as hard. And who'd have thought that would hark back to the halcyon days of COVID when times were easy. But
The
that's
good old days.
yeah, that's the reality of it. But I think there are exceptions that prove the rule. There are businesses that are thriving and surviving, and you could probably sit here and reel off several that that are in that place. But the key thing, I think, is to find where you're happiest while still making money, but we need fulfillment. Fulfillment probably has to be the forefront of what we're doing. And as Bob Ross, the painter, used to say, if a happy little accident will be that you'll make money from it if you feel that fulfillment. But just as an aside, I was reading a study last night, which my daughter highlighted to me, and I forget what it's called. I'll try and find it. But there is a principle that when times are tough for people, generally, they will look to seek out experiences that reward them, that are kind of premium. So where somebody would maybe look to move house, they'll look for an experience like having a family photograph session done, and they will pay well for it because that fulfills their need to have a luxury experience without the high ticket price. So, and that's an evidence-based. She mentioned it to me last night. I'll find out where she brought that from. But
that would be interesting for me. And I agree with you. So I think, thank you for joining me in the shenanigans. We will do more for both of us is interesting. But I really, for me, the goal of anything live or anything in this sense is to really try and make and bring more awareness in this sense and these other skills that are necessary to people for people like us to be able to survive and enjoy the business, because I think it is otherwise becoming even tougher and lonelier in a way. And I think I really feel there is a tiny little bit of I don't know, spoken or maybe subconscious feeling or idea that, well, if you feel like this and you are also looking for that, so you want to combine the financial rewards of the business with the enjoyment and so on, you are not as serious about business as the others. And I don't think that's the truth. I think there are two ways of seeing the business, and it shouldn't be, oh, I want to take the next step, so I need to forget about emotions. About having to learn different skills and probably more in terms of what we've discussed.
Absolutely. I think that there are more and more ethically based businesses coming to promising. It's it depends how deep you want to go, but we're looking at two sides of the same coin of capitalism. The one version is just make money at all costs, and the other side is actually build a sustainable, ethical business, and the profit will then follow that. And I think we're probably facing down the battle of the gun that evidence is that ethical businesses that then ultimately make money will have longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Short-termism, pure money-making opportunity probably won't last. That's maybe a debate for a bigger day.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. We survived again, and I'll keep the recording up for those who want to watch it. Bye bye.
Bye.